Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a really exciting one because it is a collab with Amy from Dolly Mama Beauty. Amy is so sweet and she's really talented, and she actually, I think we found each other around the same time because, correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, but I know that I found her when our mutual friend, Katie Marie, did a video talking about some smaller YouTubers that she watches, and I was included on that list and Amy was as well. And that's when I found Amy's channel because I made sure to check out everybody else on that list who I hadn't seen already, just partly because I'm always excited to find new people, but I also, I was so excited to be included on that list. And so I wanted to check everybody out. And Amy was one of those people. And I think that she probably found me around that time too. I could be wrong. But Amy wrote me a really sweet comment not too long ago on one of my videos and, told me that she's been enjoying my channel. And I was so excited to hear that because I've been enjoying her channel as well. And so when she wrote me and asked if I wanted to do a collab with her, I was super thrilled. And if you haven't seen Amy's channel, please make sure and check her out. I will link not only her video down below, but her channel. And I really encourage you to check her out. She does some really fun videos, some fun series on her channel with different makeup looks, and she's just a cool person. So I think that if you enjoy my channel, you will enjoy hers as well. But I'm super excited to get into this video because she wanted to do the tag video that's been going around that was started by Samantha March. So I will link Samantha's video down below. I also love Samantha's channel. There are a bunch of people that are doing this tag now though, so plenty of people to check out. But this tag, as you can see by the title, is 5 brands that excite me and 5 that don't. And that's basically talking about when they release makeup. So when certain brands release different products or when they're teasing products, am I generally excited by those releases, or am I just kind of not fazed by them and just not that excited? And I think you'll be surprised by some of the things that I talk about, some of the brands that are on my list that I'm excited about and some that I'm not, because this isn't about brands that we like or don't like, because I like all of the brands that I'm talking about. I wanted to make sure, and when I'm talking about the brands that I'm not excited by their releases, I didn't want to talk about brands that I don't like. I wanted to talk about brands that I do like them, and when I do buy their products, I enjoy them. But when they release things, I'm just not that excited. And if I end up buying things later, it's just because I hear really good things, or I see it in stores. But for whatever reason, their releases just aren't that exciting to me. So I think this is going to be really fun. I'm excited to hear what Amy has to say as well. If you are here from her channel and you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you'll stick around. I'm really excited to have you. My name is Julie Aronson, and it's nice to meet you. So let's just jump right in. We can start with, why don't we start with the brands that don't excite me so that we can end this on a positive note? All right, so the first brand that comes to mind is Benefit Cosmetics. And I do love a lot of products from Benefit. I think that they have some great solid products when it comes to brows, when it comes to face products, but their releases just don't excite me. I mean, that's what we're talking about here, right? I mean, I think part of it is that there's a lot of re-promotion going on. They come out with a lot of these face palettes that contain shades that they have already, and sometimes there are some new shades thrown in there, but a lot of times it's just a re-promotion, and so I'm just not excited by it. There have been times where they revamp their brow products, so then they like repackage them, and the packaging is pretty, but like I don't really care that much. Maybe part of it is also that I love eyeshadow. Eyeshadow palettes definitely excite me, and they don't really do eyeshadows much. So I'm just not that excited by their products. I will say I recently got a blush from them, which I'll have to talk about soon in a beauty blab, but I love it. I mean, it's beautiful, but when it was released, I wasn't that excited about it. It was only once I started hearing some people talk about it that I decided to check it out, and then I fell in love with it. So when I see their releases, I'm just not, it doesn't make me take a second look. I don't know. The next one is Tarte, and I do feel like this is probably a brand that's going to show up on a lot of people's lists, but I'm just not that excited by Tarte. I don't really, do I even own any of their eyeshadow palettes? I don't think that I do. I don't know what it is, but something is just not exciting to me about their palettes. Even back when they, like, some of the neutral shades were still really popular and I didn't have as many eyeshadow palettes, I still was just not that excited by their eyeshadow palettes. I'd heard a lot of mixed things about their formula, and I just wasn't super into it. And whenever they release something, I don't know, I just don't get that excited. There's just nothing that seems super interesting to me or different. A lot of it seems like just more of the same. I will say that the eyeshadow palette that they recently came out with, it's limited edition. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a water theme. I'll pop a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. That one definitely made me turn my head a little bit. I still decided against it because I felt like a lot of it was just more of the same, even though some of the shades and some of the formulas looked absolutely beautiful. But that was the first thing in a long time that made me go, oh, you know, even this new, like the Icy Betch palette that they came out with, that instead, it would have been more exciting if it was the one that came out that that didn't come out, that the one that they teased and was a joke during April Fool's last year. The one that they actually came out with was, I was like, I don't know. I mean, first of all, I'm kind of like getting a little bit tired of, you know, blues and greens coming out all the time because I feel like I have enough of them and every brand's starting to do it, which, you know, I get that that's how that goes. But the newer one that they just came out with, I was like, I don't know. It's just not that exciting to me. I'm not drawn to it. Obviously, they have a higher price tag. So, you know, I have to be impressed and I have to really want something to buy it. And I haven't been that excited. The next one came to my mind and really surprised me, but I realized that this one deserved to be on this list, and it's NARS. And I really love NARS. I'm wearing a NARS satin lip pencil right now in Rakujin, which is one of my favorite lip colors and formulas. And I love NARS products. They're some of my all-time favorite products that are by NARS, but their releases, that's the thing. I'm rarely like super hyped by their releases. Even though their packaging is beautiful, I feel like they come out with a lot of face palettes, a lot of like eyeshadow palettes that don't feel that unique to me. And I did recently get a face palette from them. I got the, it's right over here in my bin, that's why I have it. This palette that's so beautiful, what is it called? The Exposed Cheek Palette, I guess. And you know, it's got these baked gelée blushes and bronzers and everything, and it's beautiful, and it does feel unique to me. But even that, when they released it, it wasn't until I saw it featured in some videos and saw some people talking about it that I got excited about it and wanted to try it. When I saw it in different like promos and things, I don't know, it didn't get me that excited because I feel like it's just a lot of the same. And as much as I love that brand, I feel like the products that they've had forever, like the lip pencils and like some, you know, their blushes and some of the highlights and, you know, just some of their products that they've had forever, those are the ones that keep me loving NARS. And a lot of their new releases just don't get to me. And I don't know what it is. So maybe it's the marketing, maybe it's just the format of what they're releasing, but it just, I don't know. I'm just not often like itching to buy something from them when they release something new, you know? The next one is Becca, and I would say that this is more like of a recent thing. I've realized that I haven't been buying a lot from Becca more recently. There are some things that I've gotten, but again, it was only after I started hearing some things that I was like, oh, okay, I want to try that. Like I talked about this in my products that YouTube made me buy. I talked about the Chloe and Malika face palette. I was not that excited about those products when they were being released. And I guess part of it is that I'm like not a huge like Kardashian fan, but it was still a beautiful palette. But it wasn't until I was hearing them being compared to Hourglass powders and just people were talking about how much they love them that I thought, oh, I'm gonna go check it out. And then I fell in love with that product. You know, I recently got one of their new lipsticks that they came out with that I absolutely love. It's become one of my favorite lipsticks. It's in the shade Sugar, and this is a beautiful packaging, I will say. Really, really pretty. So it's not like I haven't bought products from them recently, but thinking back to some of the things that they've released, some of the like just the highlighters that they keep trying to pump out, I feel like I don't need any of them. And I'm a huge highlight person. Like I can convince myself than I need any highlighter because I love highlighter so much. Like, I haven't been hyped about a highlighter from them since, like, you know, the Champagne Pop days, which is funny enough, which is what I'm wearing today because I added that into my project pan for this year. I don't know, like, none of the highlighters that they've released, like, in a while have really gotten me excited. I think the last one I got excited for was Prismatic Amethyst. That was the last one that I was like, ooh, I need that one. After that, not really that excited. Definitely haven't been excited about any of their eyeshadow palettes. Something about them just don't intrigue me at all. And like, and I love Chrissy Teigen, but like some of the things that they were coming out with her, I was like, I don't know. So I do love some of their products, even some of the newer ones, but their releases just don't get to me that much. I don't know. All right, and the last one is a little bit more of an affordable brand, and this one is BH Cosmetics. And I've gotten some things that I really do love from them. Not much though. I haven't tried much from them. The last thing that I ever got from them, I'm pretty sure, was the Weekend Festival palette last year, which I really love. It's a great, great palette. But nothing has really excited me much after that. They come out with a lot, like almost to like ColourPop standards, like they come out with a lot. And so I think that their releases are a little bit overwhelming. That's certainly part of it. But nothing is really that exciting to me. Like, I appreciate the price tag, but I don't want to buy something just because it's cheap, because I have a big enough collection that if I'm going to buy something, the price isn't necessarily the issue. It's more, is this going to really fit into my collection and be something unique in my collection and something that I'm really going to pull for? And none of it really makes me feel that way. You know, their recent one that they came out with that was sort of like supposed to go along with the Weekend Festival palette. I don't remember what it was called. I can pop it up on the screen, but it's pretty new. I mean, it looked nice, but I wasn't like, I don't know, after having the Weekend Festival, I was kind of like, I don't need it, you know? And it would be much easier to convince myself that I need something or that I want something if it's inexpensive, you know? I mean, it's much easier to pull the trigger on buying a, you know, an eyeshadow palette from ColourPop or whatever, you know, because it's inexpensive. I mean, and BH Cosmetics is so easy to get. You know, they're sold at Ulta and, you know, they're on their website as well, but they have sales all the time. So if I really wanted something, I could easily get it at a pretty inexpensive price, but I haven't really wanted anything that much. And I'm just not excited by anything that they release these days. I don't know what to tell you. It just is. All right, so now let's talk about the ones that I am excited by. So this will, like I said, we're gonna end this on a little bit more of a positive note here. So the first one I think is a little surprising. It was definitely surprising to me, but I think it will surprise you as well. And the first one on my list is MAC. MAC is one of those brands that I love the collections that they come out with, and they do come out with a lot, like almost a little bit overwhelming. And so that's truthfully the main reason why I don't jump to buy a lot of their collections, even though they do excite me, because they come out with so much that I'm like, I just can't buy anything new right now. Like, I just can't do it. But there's a lot that they come out with that just gives me the feels, you know, as a makeup lover, as a lover of just beautiful packaging. They just come out with some really, really beautiful things. I really love what they come out with. All of these beautiful collections, you know, the Boom Boom Bloom collection, the Aladdin collection, their Shiny Pretty Things collection over the holidays. I bought 2 backups of MAC Babe Town, which I mean, the color of it is what really gets me, of course. That's the reason why I did it. But like, the packaging is just beautiful. The silver bullet. I mean, I don't know. I love it. Obviously, packaging is only part of it. It has to be a good product. But that's the thing. I feel like I trust MAC's product. They have been a brand that has stuck around for a long time. They have a good sort of medium type of price tag. You know, it's a higher end brand, but it's a little bit more on the affordable side of that high end. Obviously, that's relative, but you know, but I feel like I trust their formula. I love their products. They have so many products that are just great. And then when they come out with these beautiful collections with this such beautiful packaging, it gets me super excited. Like I said, I don't always buy it because there's a lot that comes out, and You know, I don't always want to buy things that are limited edition too. That's, you know, I wear Mac Babe Town all the time and I feel kind of bad, you know, when I'm like on my Instagram and I'm like, I'm wearing Mac Babe Town because you can't get it anymore. And so I feel sort of bad doing that, but I do really have a little place in my heart for some of their beautiful packaging. The next one is Charlotte Tilbury. And again, it's not something that I always buy things from because it's expensive. And I also don't have any place to check out Charlotte Tilbury in store. The only place that I can find it is when I go visit my family in Miami. There's a Sephora in Miami near my parents' house that has Charlotte Tilbury in the store. But here in St. Louis, I don't have a store that has it. So I think that's certainly part of it, because when it comes to like a luxury brand like that, it's hard to buy something and not have been able to try it yet, especially when it comes to like certain shades and things. You know, it's just, you know, you don't want to splurge on something when you don't know how it's going to look. That I have still bought things. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's harder to like jump on it. You know what I mean? But when she comes out with things, it's just, you know, that gold packaging. And now her products can be, you know, somewhat inconsistent, you know, so I'm definitely a little more careful, but that doesn't mean when she releases things, I'm not like super excited about it and just making sure to really check it out and consider getting things, because she just has some beautiful products. Then there's a brand that I know Samantha talked about, and I think I've heard other people talk about it as well in this category, but Milk Makeup. Milk just is doing something different, not only with their packaging, but also just their products, and I just find it really intriguing. I also have been getting more into using some cream products lately, so I'm definitely curious about some of those things, but they're just, you know, they're coming out with a lot of those like Kush products, which is really different and interesting to me. And I'm just, whenever they come out with something, it's not that I'm like for sure gonna get it, but it's definitely intriguing and it's definitely exciting, because I'm just wondering what they're gonna come out with next. And I just think that they're a super cool, innovative brand, and I love that. The next one is also a brand a little bit on the newer side, and that's Fenty. And I have found some products that I absolutely love from Fenty. I still haven't tried a whole lot. In fact, I believe I've only tried lip products. So I only have one shade, but I have their, what do they call these? The Stunna lip paints. The one in the shade Uncuffed I have and love. And I mean, this packaging is gorgeous too. It's just really different and beautiful. And of course, their gloss bombs. I love their gloss bombs. I mean, if they were to come out with more shades of those, I would buy them as quickly as I bought the other ones, because I love that lip gloss. Just everything that they come out with, you know, part of it is that they're a new brand. So you're like, what are they gonna come out with next to add to their line? But I just think that there's a lot of thought that goes into their releases, and they have some beautiful products. I still have, you know, definitely a few of them that are on my Sephora wish list that I just haven't gotten around to getting yet. But I just think that their packaging is beautiful, and you know, there's just something exciting about a newer brand because they're still building their foundation of products. And so I can't help but get excited about Fenty. I mean, who doesn't love Rihanna? So yeah. And the last one on my list is, I guess, a newer brand as well, and it's Pat McGrath. I only own one thing from Pat McGrath, and part of that is because it's expensive, right? I mean, her line is very expensive. But what I have, I do love. I got one of her, hold on, I'll pull it out for you. I got one of her Fetish lip balms. So it's a tinted lip balm. She has a bunch of shades, and in fact, I believe she does have a clear one. But first of all, this packaging, right? It's gorgeous. But this is the shade Wild Cherry, and it's not as intense as it looks because it's a tinted balm. So it's a beautiful wash of color. I love the way that it looks. My Sephora recently got a whole display of Pat McGrath. So that was part of it, because again, like with Charlotte Tilbury, I didn't until now have a place to see these products in store, except for my parents, near my parents. But, you know, so it was hard to know like what to really buy from her, because it's a splurge, you know? I've definitely been wanting to try her eyeshadows, but they're really expensive. I mean, even the smaller 6-pan eyeshadow palettes, they're expensive. So it's hard to bite the bullet. So while I don't often buy everything that she releases, obviously I only have the one thing so far, I'm always excited about it. I'm always like looking to see what she's coming out with next, because I feel like they're really well thought out. They're not just like pumping out products left and right. They're really thinking about them and, you know, making sure the formulation is perfect. And I've heard amazing things about her eyeshadow formula. I am super curious to try them. I just can't quite handle that price tag yet, although the Sephora sale's coming up, so we'll see. Pat McGrath just gets me excited, and her just being so extra with everything, it gets to me. I don't know what to tell you. It just really does. All right, everyone, so that is my list of the 5 brands that excite me with their releases and the 5 that just don't. Let me know in the comments below what would be on your list. I really would love to hear it, because I think it's really interesting to see, you know, everyone has different brands that they love. Everyone has different things that get them excited. I'm definitely curious to see what Amy has on her list. I wonder if we have any of them in common. But definitely make sure and go check out Amy's video if you haven't already. Again, if you were here from her channel, thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy to have you here. If you have a channel and you haven't done this tag yet, please make sure to do so. I would love to hear your answers as well. If you like this video, please make sure and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. I post videos every single Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.